Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Caddy Rin. If you don't know who I am and my journey, I'm going to link all that stuff down below. So I highly recommend you check those videos out. But if you want to stick around for the rest of this video, I'm not going to be mad about that either. So you do whatever you want. Today I'm going to be talking about my weekly update, which I'm going to be doing every week. I'm also going to be doing a life update along with what my challenge video is. And tomorrow I will be posting a bonus video, so stick around for that. It's about something that's been going on in my parents' house, and it's causing me to have some anxiety. So we'll talk about that later. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the room. This is obviously not where I normally film. This is at my boyfriend's apartment, so these are not my posters, although they are kind of cool. I'm currently visiting in College Station. My boyfriend and I, we live quite a ways apart. I currently am residing in Verde, which is around San Antonio, and he is currently residing in College Station. So because of that, we don't get to see each other every day like we used to. So he'll either come down there or I'll kind of come up here. And I actually have some stuff to do up here, so it actually ended up working out for me to come up here for this past week, and I'm actually going to stay a little bit longer than what I anticipated. For the weekly update, I've lost a total of 5 pounds, so I'm now considered at a normal weight on the BMI scale. And last week I did a whole video about how I feel about the BMI scale and kind of like debunking it and basically talking about how it's not super accurate. So go check out that video if you want to know more of my thoughts on the BMI scale, or if you want to share your own thoughts about it. I haven't really been able to do a whole lot of activity this past week because I've been doing a lot of running around, mostly with apartment searching, so that's kind of my life update. I recently got a job in Austin, so I'm going to be starting that in August, and I need an apartment that's semi-close to the job. So if I were to commute from Verde to Austin every day, it'd be like an hour and a half both ways, like just going one way, not even coming back, and I'm just not about that. My boyfriend's parents live close to Austin, but I want them to still like me, and so I feel like if I lived there for 9 months, they probably would not care for me quite so much anymore, even though they do hopefully enjoy my presence while I'm there. So I've been trying to find an apartment, and there's a couple different criteria with this apartment that I've been trying to find, which has been making it kind of hard. And this criteria is I wanted it to be kind of inexpensive rent-wise. I want it to be in, not necessarily Austin, but in a town that's kind of near to Austin. And I wanted to have, and this is the big one, no roommates. So the whole reason why I don't want roommates is I've had a lot of roommates in college. I did undergrad and graduate school, so I was in college for 6 years almost. And I counted one time, I've had like 20 roommates just from switching units sometimes. I did an internship in DC so I originally had just 3 roommates and I ended up moving to 5 roommates. So I've had a lot of roommates over the past couple of years. And because of that and some of the experiences, that's kind of why I don't really want to have roommates anymore. And I'm going to go through some of the stories that I have of former roommates because I personally think they're entertaining to me now. In some of the situations, they weren't so entertaining, but now they're a little bit more entertaining to me, and I kind of had to have a good sense of humor about it. The first story I want to talk about old roommates actually happened a couple of semesters ago. So I realize I say so a lot, and I've realized this was I say other videos, so see, I'm sorry about that. That apparently is my filler word, and so, and sometimes like, yes. Okay. Anyway, one of the stories that I have about old roommates is actually what happened a couple of semesters ago. I write down on my forms now, if I do roommate matching, I do not want freshmen. Whole reason behind that is last couple semesters ago, I was, 23 years old. I don't really want to live with an 18, 19-year-old. I feel like emotionally and we're just like on two different paths, and also we're just pretty much like on two different paths of life, and because of that it's really hard for us to kind of connect, because they want to be partying and doing all that, and I just feel like an old person where I just would rather get home, go to sleep, not really worry about anything. In grad school I work 10, 12-hour days, so I'm not around a whole lot, and the last thing I want to do is have to deal with a party or a bunch of mess in my house when I come home. And unfortunately, although I did put no freshman roommates, I got matched up with not just one, but two freshmen that semester. And everything was fine at first, and it seemed like everything was going to be pretty cool. But then I started noticing that we would get this gigantic pile of dishes in the sink. And I honestly, I've deleted all the pictures of it because, I don't need them anymore. But I kid you not, this is the sink, this is the pile of dishes. And I knew it wasn't from me because I wasn't at home a lot, or I wasn't necessarily cooking, or when I would cook, I would be a responsible adult and put my dishes in the dishwasher, which is about 2 feet away. And I tried talking to everyone about it multiple times. And I'm not kidding. Multiple times tried talking to me about it, would not meet with me. I don't know if they just didn't care for me because I wasn't around a lot. And then it'd be funny because then they complain about it. And I'm like, this isn't my mess. I'm like, I'm not getting up in the middle of the night and cooking a bunch of food. This is not from me. This is from some of you. And it was just weird. But I didn't know what all they would talk about behind my back because I didn't really care, because I'm 23 and I pretty much use this space to just sleep and eat. I don't really use the space for much else, and maybe study. So it was just, and it kind of started escalating where mean texts were being sent to me. One of my roommates, what kind of pushed me over the edge was when my roommates got a puppy. Now, if you've seen my Instagram or Twitter, I posted pictures of my dogs. I am a former animal science major, so I absolutely adore and love animals. I especially dogs. It's really hard for me because I can't actually have a dog currently because I don't have space for a dog, and it wouldn't be fair for me to have a dog because I don't have a yard or anything. And because of that, I haven't had a dog my entirety of my collegiate career. And what happened was my roommate got a puppy. I am not about puppies. They're cute, yes, but they don't know where's the correct place to go to the bathroom at sometimes. And sometimes they ruin my furniture, which I talked to her repeatedly about. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't really seem to care that much. Didn't really seem to keep an eye on the dog. You could just tell that the dog was just almost like an accessory, because it was oh, look at my cute dog. But she didn't really seem to care what it did. Except for if it did stuff in her room. If we walked up the stairs, you could smell, the smell wafting from her room was so bad because she just didn't know how to train a puppy. So I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have a dog, But anyway, so I finally talked to my housing unit and was like, can I get some mediation? What can I do? I'm like, for one thing, they're breaking your guys's, I looked up at the guideline/code stuff and was like, for one thing, they're breaking this because you're not supposed to have drugs, drug paraphernalia. You're not supposed to have that. And I'm like, here's a picture of drug paraphernalia. And they're like, oh, well, we can't really do anything about that. That's, if you, can tell that they're doing drugs, you need to, call the police. And I'm like, are the police really gonna believe that I'm also not doing these drugs? It was just, it was just frustrating. And then I was talking to them about how my furniture was like getting messed up. Like, oh, well, if there's anything of value downstairs, maybe you should move it upstairs so the puppy can't get it. The thing is, I had 2 couches, a papasan chair, a dining room table and chairs, coffee table, and a rug. All that was mine, and end tables. All mine, getting destroyed. I can't move that upstairs. I don't have enough room in my room to move that upstairs. So that made no sense to me. I'm like, you realize that this is all my stuff, right? They'd also, if I would like leave or whatever, they would literally move my stuff around the house without telling me. And they always do it when I wasn't there, and then just not ask. Like, they wouldn't ask me and thought it was okay. And I'm like, okay, like, you can, I'm like, I wouldn't mind moving it, but at least ask me about it, because it's not your property. This isn't the unit's property. This is my personal property. So it was just, and because of everything that was happening, I ended up just completely moving out to a completely different unit, loving those roommates so much better. P.S. like, I do want to say that I am friends with former roommates on Facebook. If I'm friends with you on Facebook, still, obviously, like, we probably got along okay, and so you guys are not the problem. It was these other people that were the problem that I'm not friends with on Facebook. Yeah, so that was my fun former roommate experience. I've also had a roommate that moved into the closet. Like, we had a shared room, and she moved into a big closet. If that's not weird, I don't know what is. So I've had a lot of weird roommate experiences, to say the least. Alright, so that's kind of like a life update, former roommate stuff out of the way. I'm going to be doing a challenge. I'm going to be doing it for 1 week, and it's going to be the no added sugar challenge. So this challenge is going to be kind of hard for me because I'm not only doing no added sugar, I want to do no added artificial sweeteners as well. And I like coffee, and I don't like coffee black, and I use artificial sweeteners in coffee, so this is going to be difficult for me. So please pray for me. Alright, that's all I have for this video, so if you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these types of videos, please subscribe down below. Please let me know in the comments if you've ever had a bad roommate experience. I know that we typically have at least one bad roommate. Sometimes people get really lucky and they don't have any, but for the most part we have at least one bad roommate experience. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!